You don't like it? Kiss my ass. You don't like it? It's my house. That's a reoccurring lyric in a song by the band Mastercraft. It's a single, I guess, with a couple songs on it. It's called Spirit of Truth. I've been using it. You can use songs to inspire you, to help you make sense of situations at times. Anyways, I've been using Spirit of Truth from Mastercraft to help me get through some very difficult, murky times in my life. And that lyric, you don't like it? Kiss my ass, you don't like it? It's my house. You see, the thing about truth is it is the light that reveals what is actually there. The light of God or the divine. For the sake of this conversation, I'm going to use the term divine or maybe most high. And there are subtle differences between God, divine, most high, these various terms to refer to unified consciousness, pure love, this thing that many religions point to. It's something we have a connection to. Anyways, see, this is the divine's house. And when you walk in truth, it's your house too. Which is a reason that you shouldn't go into someone else's house and mess around. Mess around with other people, lie, manipulate, and all those other terrible things. You should have respect when you enter someone else's house. And I guess in a way all of us are growing up inside the house of the divine. If you're a materialist or an atheist, have an open mind. Hopefully it doesn't offend you, but this is true and powerful. So anyways, this song, Spirit of Truth, has been an excellent tool to get me through Mom with Alzheimer's, chronic pain from surgery that I was dealing with, Mom dying, a little bit before that, a few years, getting chronic migraines on top of the pain, Mom dying, the global sickness hitting, my father getting sick and very quickly dying as well, really terrible conflict in the family. I mean, one person in particular that just seemed to hate me. I don't know what it was. Something about the light of truth that I tried to bring to situations that I tried to help my mom and my dad with, and I'm now helping myself with, seemed to offend some people around me. And in doing some research recently, I've noticed that a lot of people have had this experience where they try to do the right thing. They try to speak truth. They try to improve themselves and listen to the lessons that life is presenting them with. And for some reason, well, there are many reasons, but for many reasons, people get taken, get captured, get agitated. Not even for any good reason, not even for any fully understandable reason, but something about people speaking truth, something about people trying to help others, something about people who maybe have been stuck and not able to learn the right lessons or taking a lot of time to learn certain lessons. Eventually, they start to get it and they start to grow and move forward from that difficult place where a lesson needed to be learned. So, I've tried to face all this stuff in the spirit of truth. It's been a strong theme in my videos. And, as well as all this death, as well as my own health challenges, I seem to be dealing with, some sort of reputation that I've talked about before. I don't know the source of it, but, I'm concerned about all sorts of scams. There's so many scams out there, so many scammers who are not learning the lessons that are being presented to them and are bringing further, more difficult challenges to teach them in the future, even if it takes a little while. This is the order of things. So I've been trying to walk in the spirit of truth, and this song has really helped me. You should check it out if you can. Sometimes when we don't learn our lessons, even if they're screamed at us by life and by those around us, sometimes, you refuse to walk in the spirit of truth, the light of truth. And just like on the single, chords again, baby. The beats continue. Because life will beat you down if you're not learning your lessons, if you are messing around, lying to yourself, manipulating other people. As I've been trying very hard to walk in the spirit of truth for these recent years, I've realized through what the light of that truth has revealed, at least recently, that there were a number of people in my life that didn't appreciate me, thought I didn't know what I was talking about, would sort of discount the things that I said, didn't seem to value, my contributions in conversations a lot of the time. And, maybe sort of just, I don't understand this personally, but I'm starting to get a handle on it, didn't really like me, even though they were sort of in my life. And so I've been, letting those people go. And it seems, in doing a bit of research about other people that try to walk in truth, that learn their lessons and start to move forward and start to grow deeply within. I've noticed that this is a process of letting go of people that seem to be upset about someone who just tries to do the right thing. And then eventually, in spite of struggle, gets better, improves their life. It seems to just irk some people. So, whatever it is, I've been letting some people go, some family members. One in particular that I just never got along with. I tried very hard, but they were very difficult over the time that my father was dying. I had to stick around to try to help my father because that was the truth at the time. And it was messed up and it was difficult, but it was the right thing to do. So I'm letting some of these people go, and very recently, just a few days ago, I let go of a long-term relationship. A woman who I had been dating for 10 or 11 years. And who, as the light of truth has been shining brighter in my life, it became quite apparent that she just didn't appreciate me. And that there was manipulation, gaslighting in some cases, and unfair behavior. And I realized, in spite of some love that was definitely there for a lot of the relationship, it was another version of just not valuing my contributions, not appreciating me, not ultimately having real love, the kind of love that makes you work, the kind of love that makes you do difficult things, that inspires, that makes you choose the right choice, the kind of love that is difficult, not easy, the love that you prove. And I realized from a number of obvious choices that this person couldn't prove when it mattered that there was real love there. And it's a funny thing when you realize that someone is maybe not being completely honest with you, or maybe not being honest with themselves. You start to wonder what's in their house. If these are the eyes of the soul, what's in their house? What's the information that I don't know? What are the secrets? There's what's in the light, day, what you can see right in the living room, sitting on the coffee table. There's what's in the shadow, behind the couch, behind the dresser, maybe in the closet. What kind of skeletons are in the closet behind that box? Maybe something was swept under the carpet. There's shadow there too. But I also realized that in some cases, some people have things buried in the backyard. And I think it's really ultimately a question of severity if we're working with this metaphor of the light and, say, problems that you could see within the living room, behind the windows of the soul. So there's the light that is, things that you can talk about, you can identify, you can prove that are obvious. There is the shadow, which sometimes requires a bit of work to uncover or to open or to find. And then there's the stuff buried in the backyard that is very difficult to find, and you might never find out until it's dug up, maybe by someone else. So I think the point is that I had been seeing a lot of problems in this relationship with this person for many, many years, and I tried and tried and tried. There's a lot of arguments, a lot of yelling. I'm a yeller, but I have control over it. I don't just yell at anybody. It's often a place of vulnerability that I come from. You know what I mean? It's someone's hurting me emotionally that I care for in a private place, and I'll let my voice go. And I have a powerful voice. That's something I want to be working with in the future. But in any case, it comes out loudly when I'm upset, when I'm defending myself, when I feel like people don't appreciate me or attacking me or discounting me or whatever, right? We all have our different ways that we defend ourselves when people don't do good things to us. And so I would yell. But I am not a violent person. Other than, sparring or something like that, consensual violence, that's great. I love to hit a punching bag. I enjoy training martial arts. But violence is a hard line. I don't express myself that way. I get so angry. I've punched holes in the wall. I've turned couches over. This is years ago when I was very young. I don't get mad like that anymore. I don't punch holes in the wall, but I do yell. But I don't hurt people. That's obviously not okay. And, if you're a man and you get angry, hopefully you have someone that can recognize you in your anger, that can recognize what is often for a lot of men in some degree of inherent vulnerability in that rage, right? There's something being defended for a lot of guys. And I guess, these days, because the half the human race, men, are often blamed for a lot of society's problems. There's a lot less sympathy for the problems that men face, but a lot of men express themselves with anger when they're hurt in some way. Some do it very inappropriately, and then some cross that line to violence, which is not okay. And part of the problem is maybe your makeup, like your body, your spirit, whatever. Maybe you're good at violence. Maybe you have a big temper and all this kind of stuff. But at some point, hopefully someone, probably another man, hopefully a senior man, taught you how to control it, how to get a hold of it. When I say control, I don't mean control, because it will fight back and break you eventually if you try to control your anger that way. It's more of a wild animal that you need to develop a relationship with it. I don't even know if you need to break it like a horse, but you need to learn to ride it, because it is an energy, especially in men, that is very powerful. It doesn't have to be destructive. So in any case, with this person that I recently got out of a relationship with, I would yell a lot. I was going through some crazy shit. And they were often starting fights. They were often arguing and competing with me and stuff. I don't want that in a female partner. I want someone who's going to be nurturing, I want someone who's going to be empowering. I want a sweetheart. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess a lot of men do. But in any case, there's a lot of arguments with her. And it would often start with some subtle stuff. And so I just started to notice weird little red flags and manipulation and gaslighting. And, and she made a big decision to go away at the time that was close to the end of my father's life, and I was in a really bad space. I really needed her help to just be steadfast and be there with me, and she kind of jetted out. And I mean, as far as I understood, the relationship continued. But you never know. You know, you can spend days and days with a person, hours and hours. You can sleep next to them and look them in the eye on a regular basis and recognize that you never really knew them. And that's a hard lesson to learn about people. But I had a number of things in the light of day, you know, in the clearly identifiable in the living room, to follow the earlier metaphor of the windows of the soul and this sort of makeup that you have inside this house that we all live in, with our secrets buried or stuck in the closet, you know. In the light of day and in the light of the living room, I could see a bunch of problems, but I'm very loyal and I love hard, strong, so I don't give up. And I didn't give up, even though she jetted out, just when I needed her to be steadfast, to be there with me, for me. And I tried to deal with it. Earlier in the relationship, I had two, like, deal breakers. One, I want kids at some point, and I'm getting older, so we better get on it at some point soon. And two, I don't want a long-distance relationship. And, you know, she crossed that line. Now, I realized that... well, I flipped over a, you know, corner of the carpet, or I moved a box. Maybe I think skeletons in the closet in this case would be an appropriate metaphor. I moved a box aside and found a skeleton and brought it out into the light of day. You know, and it wasn't like a video or something, but, you know, who knows? Maybe there's videos out there. But in any case, it became very apparent that there was some unfair things going on, and the red flags, the conflict, the competition, all this conflict that this person who I love very much brought to my life, as well as the red flags, just started piling up. And then I, you know, found this thing and brought it into the light of day and examined what the situation was, and realized that maybe I didn't know this person, and there could be a lot that I didn't know. So I had to make a quick, clean break, because that's what the light of truth was showing me, was screaming at me. Sometimes people, the divine shows you the way, it speaks to you if you want to listen. Sometimes it speaks to you through subtle things around you. Sometimes it's an internal voice. Sometimes it's others trying to warn you, teach you a lesson. It's up to you to listen. We all have free will. So, tough lessons to learn, but I feel good. I feel strong and centered. And it's only been a short amount of time, but I feel such a great burden lifted. I could say to myself, I wish I had made this decision earlier, but again, this is kind of divine timing, you know, hard to talk about. I know these kinds of concepts like divine timing and, you know, intuition, that's not just, you know, your brain analyzing like patterns and systems and coming up with predictive, you know, information or something like that's the lens that focuses the light of truth or something like that. You know what I mean? Like there's something more that we can tap into, and there's various streams of intuitive information that can come and give you that kind of truth. In any case, you know, the light of truth was just screaming at me, so I had to make a clean break. And, you know, we'll see how it unfolds. It's still new and fresh. I got some time ahead of me to heal and take account of what's happened. But I feel good, and I mean, I don't know, I think I look all right now. Right? Vanity is a difficult thing. In any case, you know, I'm not even fully clean shaven, but got the curls rocking. So in any case, I just wanted to make a video to talk about, well, this topic I keep bringing up, which is truth and the spirit of truth and intuition and relationships with people that don't serve you and that don't respect you and maybe even don't like you. Like there's people out there that might love you, at least love you sometimes, but they just don't really like you. Or they kind of love you because you give them things. And maybe that's not real love, right? But they love you because you give them various things. But it's not real love. It's not like capital L love. You know what I mean? It's not that love that sends you to the ends of the earth. That motivates you. So, I don't know. I've never been married. Never been really in any kind of court situation. Luckily, I'm sure divorce is a bitch. I'm a little worried about identity theft. If you see anything out there about me or my private life, that's a fucking scam. Talk to the police. I don't know what to tell you. And try to walk in the light of truth. Find your spirit of truth. Because this is my house. And when I say my, I mean the Most High. I mean the divine. This is our house if you want to walk in the light of truth. Find that spirit. And, in the right timing, it might be difficult, but you're going to have to let some people go as you walk your path. There will be many lessons presented to you in many ways, and it's up to you to learn them. And the lessons get harder if you don't learn them, if you don't listen. So, find that spirit and walk it.